So on a chart on the menu bar, you replay chart, you click chart, and then you go down to replay chart. It's pretty simple. All right. From here, replay chart control panel, which is this first one, and it brings up this box here. Standard replay is the mode you want to be on. You could check off when you want to start, right, Brian? Speed 1, does that mean real-time speed, and then 2 would be double? Okay, so that's what that means. 1.0 is normal speed, and then 2 is double. This would be 5 times, 10 times, I would imagine, right? Not recording the data, I'm playing back, Carl. Recording no data. I'm playing back. Replay. You know, sometimes I should help you with these markets with a gun in the room, so then we're both paying attention a little bit more. You're not holding it and I'm not holding it, but it's there. By time, yes. So everything else is good here, right? Just set the time, and you got to go year, first, month, day. That's a European format. So let's go 2018/12/04, which would have been yesterday. What time? Is it the time on your chart? If you're Central Time, this will pick up Central Time. All right. So I don't want to set, I want to set yesterday when we started moving lower, like around 10:30 Central, right? So that's just 10:23. Man, Bruce is on the ball. You didn't hear it, Carl. It was your fault. Everybody else paid attention. You didn't. That's what it should be. Nice if I set the colons right. Well, actually, 10:23 is when we started. Thanks, Bruce. So this should bring us back to yesterday, 10:23. Standard replay, single chart, and it'll replay on this chart, correct? Brian? All right, so pretty simple. What's this mean? Unit. Oh, once I start playing. All right, this is fast forward rewind. It'll light up once I start playing, I imagine. So let's go back and see. I'll put yes, because I'm on sim for Seer. I don't trade on it. All right, so this is good. Does it choke? Does it choke up? So far, he says no. Now this is slow. Let's go double. Should I stop it and change the speed, or could I change the speed on the fly? All right, Carl, take it easy. Thank you. Let's try it on the fly. Now remember, the markets are closed, so I don't have a lot of data coming in. When you guys try this, try it at night when the overnight markets are coming in. I don't know yet, but don't try this if you're looking to trade and the markets are busy, and I don't know if it'll choke anything off. Sometimes replays do that. A couple people said they haven't had that issue. I'm just telling you, that's when you'll tend to get some instability if you're trying to replay when the markets are open and they're busy. I'm just saying maybe. I don't know. So let's do it on the fly. Let's go to 2 times. Did it pick up? Yeah, it worked. Look at that. That's cool. Well, here's another thing that's cool. I wonder, oh, it'd be the same thing. You could actually make a verbal journal note in Playback. Here's the note. And so you could say, to me, this is bearish. I don't know where my bearish is, but this is bearish when it goes through like that. So you could do some exercises and you make your exercise colors just a certain color. I wouldn't make them the same as your bearish comment. And I would have said in here, it's bearish. And I would say, hey, when I make the recording here, we just ran up and then quickly run down. Look out below. Said that at 72 even, and it broke another 3 points, right? Stop it. And now you know your purple dots. Your purple dots in here are exercise dots on your playback. That's pretty neat. So the market does go lower. You see it go lower after you've seen it go up and cut through this green. You get confidence doing this. Let's go a little faster. Now, I know the market's net going to go down, but I'm talking just on this sequence. Let's go faster. Let's go. Can I put 3 in here? Or do I got to go with their standard defaults? Any value. Let's go 3. Ooh, 30. Let's not go 30. That's too fast. This is pretty cool. I always like Playback if it doesn't. You know, Market Delta didn't have Playback, but the old Market Delta did. I think IRT has Playback, don't they? Those that use, do you use it, Ron? So wouldn't it be cool if you said over time that, hey, I seen a bearish moment in here and then it got bearish afterwards in your practice? You could see 3 times is too, what the hell? Let's go to 10 times. Let's not screw around here. Let's fast forward. This is really cool because it's simple and obviously it doesn't choke anything off because it hasn't. But if it doesn't, it's simple to pull up. I remember using this on old Market Delta, and that was harder than this, but not hard. I would say after they chip through this green that it's a little bearish. See, when the market moves faster, we're making it move faster. We're making it move 10 times faster. But to me, it allows me to say, hey, this is the pattern. It's taken too long to develop. And that's why it should go up or down. Now, I'm bearish once it gets through this green, but I was just going to say, and then it happened. But I'm not going to be short above these tops because you could get buy stops, and then we got it. So it's like here, it's okay to be bearish like in here, but then as we drag on, be careful, can't go down, and then it gets above all these tops. That's what I mean about identifying this, always having this in your eyeballs. Like, is there a fight? Is there a range? Where is it? Careful short above it, careful long below it. You know, it's went down. Why can't it go? Why can't it go? Why can't it go? You know why it can't go? The dynamic of too many damn shorts in here. Had to shake them out. Now it could go. Now after this long up down bar, I'm bearish again. Then you could put a quick note in there. You could put a VJ note and say bearish. It's already purple. You just go to bearish in here, long up down bar on the other side of the mountain, and you get your purple bar. Oh, I didn't record. Sorry. Shoot. You got to put a title in here, and you got to record. This is bearish, long up down bar. Oh, shit. I think I'm not stopping it. Bearish long up down bar. There it is. You got to stop it, then close it. So there's the purple dot. Now I'm comfortable because it did go down. I didn't just say this because I knew it went down. All right, forget about that. Look at the bottom of this, right? So here's the thing. You got a new consolidation range here. You got to be careful long and careful short above there and long above there. That's why. I like 10 times right now. This is pretty neat. This will help build a bias. This will help execution, but there's two kind of routes you could go on playback. Number one, does it help you build a bias? And number two, with probabilities, then go look. Don't try to do both. Don't say, hey, I'm bearish in here. Where would I get short? Where would I get short? Take one step at a time. First, get good at predicting. So this big down move here, there's nothing that happened in here to get you bullish, is there? Absolutely nothing. Uh-oh, see a little bug in here. Little bug. Maybe if I hit, what should I do? Hit insert? You think that would fix it, Brian? I think because it went too fast, it created that. Hold on. Pause it. Let me hit insert. I don't think it's going to matter refresh because you're refreshing played data, right? I think if I stop it. Let's see if this works. We're going to go back in time 10 times. So what's cool is see the verbal journal note sticks in here, and you could see it. Your notes are going to pop up when you made them in real time when you go back to play them back. Christine, are you here? Nothing happened. I hit pause. I hit insert. Wait. All right, I get it. Let's see if this happens again. Let's go faster. We need more speed here. Here's another purple dot. Now this is going to go real fast because I just want to move forward. I think 60 times is too fast. But look at up, down. That means I had an opinion, was bearish, then it worked. You could make these in real time and go back and look to see them play out on your playback. See, I know the market's going to move lower in here, so it's like, all right. But I would have told you to be careful being long below these 3 rotations, right? Let's see if this goes completely red. Brian's got a fix for it. No, it didn't, so that's good. There was just something. Whoa, too damn fast. Slow it down. All right. Now, take a look at this a second. I'm going to hit pause. 2 things. The market just broke. When those guys were talking yesterday, I looked at the chart. I was looking at their screen. I looked at a chart and I seen around now like 40s, 30s in the S&P. I'm thinking that it's got to be the NASDAQ. I'm like, oh, no, that's the S&P. But anyhow, you see this market come in, right, and then come down, support, 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 no support. This is not necessarily easy. What's the matter with you? Buy it in here. It's going to run up to there. But it goes back to what I said. The market makes a move lower from up here all the way down here, correct? And then it's going sideways for a while. And it goes up, uses this resistance, and then goes down. Goes up, this resistance, and goes down. Up, this resistance and goes down. Up. It's like, well, how many times do you think it's going to go up and stay in this box? It's just not. This is a box that you start to look at. This was a box you start to look at. How many times you think it's going to just stay in it without leaking lower? This one happened to leak higher, right? So now this is where we think this is resistance and that's resistance. But the short time frame bulls have the leash in here. Well, let's play and see what happens. And I don't know what happened because I was listening to that event, our meeting. I'm small time frame bullish and thinking these two reds are going to be resistance, and they are. Well, this one comes underneath it. Now I'm like neutral, down, up bar. This is resistance. Not sure if I'd have got in. I don't know if it got green and came off, but I'm bearish now. Bearish because it did come into resistance, and it got through this green. Now there's some really good sell stops below 41. Look at all these rotation lows. This would have pissed me off maybe a little bit head fake. They should really drive them lower, and they do. This is a little head fake. That's why I said they really should drive them lower in here, and they do for a few handles to come out of this range. 10 times. So when the market moves fast and you have it 10 times fast, it's kind of like skipping. So this is the move you could anticipate with all this. You see it work as resistance, not a surprise. Worked as resistance, got through it here. So while you could lose this as resistance, be careful because this is going to be support, and it is. You see this market channeling between. I'd be careful short above these tops in here, above 38.50. Be careful long below these bottoms, but it's already walked through it. Let's slow this down to 5. And let's play around with the rewind. Oh, shoot. What did I do? Oh, 5. Is that 5 hours or 5 minutes? 5 minutes, right? So it'll go back 5 minutes. That's cool. So here, I want to pause it. Your eyes have to fixate on the market like this. This is like doing the trading room, but able to stop the market, right? Real time. And you could set that how many minutes you want to go back. 5 minutes, I think, is fine for this. So I look at this and say, I would be careful short because there is a chance it gets in here, they pop them if they get into there. You remember I told you guys that you're watching a basketball game and one team's got the momentum. All it takes is a turnover and they lose momentum. So it's like the market doesn't know that it's going to go down in here necessarily. It was really close to going up. So like you could be long. You were really close to having a winner and having it skip up. But then they turned the ball over and it went the other way. That's how markets work, just like a competition. You know who's competing in markets? Longs and shorts. People both that are on the court because they have open longs and open shorts. And then the people, what's unique about trading is the people in the stands could come and play. The people in the stands are the ones that might want to get long, might want to get short. The people who are long and short have to buy, have to sell to cover their position. They can do it now, they're going to do it here, they're going to do it later. So that's the way markets work. And that's one of the first things you should learn when you learn how to trade is the dynamics of price, and that the reason why there's no holy grail is because the market doesn't know what it's necessarily going to want to do. Holy grail is you're finding out what the market already knows. So that's why there is no holy grail, but there's probabilities you could stack. So let's play this. Well, what I wanted to say though is here, you got to be careful being long above there or short above here and long below here. Well, why? This has got to just visualize in your head because the son of a bitch already came down, stopped there, and stopped here with rotations up. It's already worked as support. That's the ice cracking feature. What analogy, Mike? So let's play it back. We're at 5 times speed. Now, I know the market is going to shoot lower. We know that. But we also know that it doesn't surprise us because the ice cracked in here. This is a good tell right there. You look back, what could have told me to get in? The problem is you got to be bearish. And it's like right when they break that green is awesome. We're chopping. Break this green. It goes. Should use this as resistance, and it does. I didn't really know that for sure, to be honest. I didn't know that they were going to stop here, but I just figured they would because of this price action in the middle. So then I step all over it again, slide lower. At what moment will you get a little bullish? Right in here. Not to get long, but cover a short because it gets through some red. Let's pause it. Let's go back 5 minutes. This is cool. I actually like this. If you go back 5 minutes and forward 5 minutes, it should take you to where you were. Huh? If you learn nothing else from today, learn that. If you go back 5 minutes and forward 5 minutes, it takes you to where you were. Put that on a Post-it. All right, let's go back through. So you know it's banging around between this range. We got it running 5 times the speed, and it skips when the real market got volatile and you're fast forwarding it to 5. That's when you see these skips. So here's what's interesting. It comes back up, wham, cuts through this red, but not really, because remember, you got this whole thin spot in here. So let me show you this. As soon as it's bearish, let's say I'm short. Where am I going to get out? Right there. Why am I going to get out there? And I don't care if it rotates back now, because it's the first time it cut the red. Remember, we're working 5 times speed. First time it cuts the red after this really nice sell-off from 38 even, 38 half. So it just broke 13 handles in 2 minutes. And it finally cuts some red. I'm going to get out. And it's a good place to get out because it just chops. Yeah, it goes a little bit lower by a couple points, but if you get out 27 and it went to 24 and you're short from 38, it's no big deal. Where else are you going to get out? Let's say you don't get out here. You think you're going to get out perfect here at 24 even? Ain't going to happen. You're going to end up getting out here with more emotional capital. But this move here created the end of the downside, or at least some chop before it were to return. I mean, a 12, what's the difference to a 12-point winner and a 13, point winner? Nothing. Now, so this, remember, this is 5 times the speed. So it cuts through the red. So it doesn't get bullish, but it gets sideways, right? Sideways, sideways, sideways. And this is moving fast. I don't know, unless there's a news event, that this is going to happen. I couldn't predict this is going to happen. But after it's happened, right in here, I'm bearish. I'm not necessarily say I'd be short, but I'm bearish after this sweeps. I'm not saying, and I don't know if I could predict this was going to happen either. There's nothing I see in here to predict it, is my point. So when it happens, you got to turn around and be bearish. Now, maybe there's another market that let it lower, or maybe there's a news event. But go play back your trade the news and find out. So let's play it. I actually really, really like this thing. Oh, bullish, right? So first thing, we cut through this red, and you could say, why aren't you bullish there? I'm not necessarily not bullish there, but remember, this got some hella resistance in here, and it's got thin spot, thin spot. So it's not bullish in here, but it does go sideways first before it releases lower. Now here's the next moment of a cutting red, pretty good. So you don't know it's going to go up here, but at this point, you know it cut through this red, correct? So to say there's going to be some near-term upside is not out of the question. It's predictable. And you get it, right? So if you could be a little bullish in here, you don't have to be long, but if you be a little bullish, you're not surprised at this trajectory. And I'll be, you know this. I don't know this. I didn't know this happened. We were in that meeting. So I have no idea that this was going to follow through another 5 handles up here. I just looked at this cutting the red, coming up, and said that this was probable. That's why this is a cool feature, because it's almost like I'm doing the trading room. Now, the fact that this is support, not a surprise. I would be, if I'm not long, I'd be careful, because it's like, why wouldn't I be long from down here? So right now I'd be like, that's still bullish, but It's more like waiting for a bearish reaction because you would have already missed. I mean, thing ran up 10 points so far. So wait for some greens to get cut if you want to get short. They're cutting right there, and I'm thinking if this red holds, it's bearish, but it didn't cut by much, and it came back up. So if you were bearish in here because it finally cut these greens, you got to hold this red, or it's not going to work. Let's see. And then if it does go down, it's going to stop here at 27.5. So you got to keep that in mind. Now they really, here, let's pause it. They're holding this green. They cut it a little here. They're holding this red, but not, they're holding this red, but not great. I come back and I look and I say there's buy stops above 31.5, sell stops below 29. Play it. Ooh, did you see that? It got red, couldn't go down. Let's back it up. Let's back it up. Ooh, 2 minutes. Oh, that's the speed. Let's back it up. 2 minutes. All right, watch this. Watch this. So I'm a little neutral. The range is coming out, but watch this. If I'm neutral to here's where, remember when I said there's buy stops above 31.5 and then sell stops below 29 based on this? What could get you to play the breakout? Let me show you. Right there. You see that red come in? Did you see that red come in? Don't make me go back a minute. Watch this red. I'm going to pause it. Remember, we're going 5 times the speed. Right there. Right there. It goes green. They try hitting it. Okay. They tried hitting 31.75s and it can't go down. How do you know it can't go down? Right there. You know it can't go down when it goes up a tick or two. This is a breakout trade. You can't keep a long leash on it because it's already ran 12 points from the low. But this is the shorts climbing over each other to get out. It runs 2 points. You got to keep a short leash on it because remember, we ran 12 points from the lows. So you'd like it to go to 35, 38. You get another red that can't go down, another red that can't go down. So you're still getting some lift off. Now I'd be a little careful. I paused it. Be a little careful because while it didn't go through some green edge zone, went through some green buying. Be careful still being super bullish. Not that I would have sold it, but careful being super bullish was the right idea. Put a verbal journal note on it. Well, that's another skill I think you could create. You guys need to do that. See if it's a skill. I don't think it's a skill, but maybe it is. And you're asking, well, what is that? Play it back at a high speed and try to hit pause exactly when it happens. See if your recognition, hand-eye coordination. Because Brian said that was good timing on the pause. Right in here. So little bearish. If you're not sure, you got to put a note on here. So you put a note. It's already purple. It's my playback notes. And it's going to be, I already got the preloaded thing, bearish. What's cool is you could pause it and make your note. And then I'll make a recording and say, I'm bearish in here because it broke through, even though not green edge zones, after this rotational rally, it came in here and got through some green with some red. Stop it, close it, and there's a purple dot. I actually should have made the note here. And if you make that mistake, then you go click on it, delete it, hit the VJ again, and put it there and say the same thing. I'm a little bearish in here because it got through some green imbalances with, put some red behind it, the 335 by 121. So while maybe I'm not short, I'm bearish. Close it. Ah, shoot. You can't close it. You got to put stop. And you got to title it. Little bearish because they got through some green imbalance, that 101 and 128 with some 335. Careful long. There's a purple dot, and now you know you have a playback note. Let's play it. Let's go back and, oh, that's what I wanted to show you. Cut this red, and should be a little bit of a pop, already was. Now, how did I know that? I paused it. I didn't know that. I'm just predicting that it's green, gets through the red, and here should be a pop, and there is. Now that red kept us lower, should be resistance, and it is, or was. See this rotation up, stop, go down. Went green, red, green, red. There's green, should be a little bearish, especially now 30 half's got to be bearish. This is interesting. Let me pause it. Let's go back a minute. I'm going to show you something. Let's play it. Right in here, you get it to go green, red, but then right in here, it goes green. I paused it, and it goes below. Now I'm bearish. However, another green comes in. So it's like I beat the hell out of that guy. He's down, but now he's got someone else come in. The fight happened again. So now I gotta man up. Now I might be able to beat that guy's ass too, meaning this guy down in here just came in. But he refreshed his chances of beating my ass. So let's play it. Now the game to me is this red here, 32, and getting through these greens for some downside at 30 half. Another green, but then red. So the bears, it was like longs come in, bears are stuck. Man, let's replay that. That was a good, interesting scene here. This is like a film session that, you know, that teams go over. All right, let's play it. I want to show you this. So there's that second green that came in. All right, watch this. Green, red, back to green. You see that right in here? Here's something that's interesting. Let's go back a minute, and then let's change this to just 2 times and play it. You want to see something? I pause it a second. You want to see something that's really cool? That would really be cool? And I bet it would work? I'll show you in a second. And it's not a picture of me. Right here. Boom. Paused it. It's only 2 times. See it go red? This is more real time. This is 2 times the speed. Goes red. Slightly above it, I'm bullish. I'm bullish. Now, I think it runs up a little bit more, but the technique of who's in trouble of red and why. Hey, this is a great, Brian, great idea to do this today. I'm glad that we opened the room. This is an awesome feature. So I would be here. I paused it there. To be honest, I wouldn't, after it rallies from 30 to 35 half, I'm not inclined to get all crazy bullish. So I'm questioning the bullishness. It cut through this red by 2 ticks. If I'm bearish for another reason, looking to get short, and I see a green, it can't go up, then maybe I take a chance because I think it's going to run down. But I need a qualifier. There's a slight chance, could be a little more neutral. Now, I don't know. A green imbalance and starting to go lower. I think it should move lower, but I don't think I'd be in a position. I played it again. We're only at 2 times the speed. Should do that. You know what I mean? And the reason why it should do that was because it cut through the green, kind of comes up and then comes back. And it's like, I think people that did get long in here will be a little profit taking. It's the whole dynamic. I'm glad I recorded. This is, I think, a good session. What do you guys think? Now here, look about this. Long down up bar gets green, and the bulls are in control unless they get back to 33.5. That would be my thought process. Now it goes red. You could take a shot buying it here, but you got to remember it just rallied from 32 quarter to 35 quarter. You're buying it after a 5-point rally. A lot of times it likes to retrace and go up, but if you're afraid of missing it because it's going to continue through 35 half, you've seen it go red and you think the bears are maybe stuck, but you got to get out at 34 or 33.75. And the problem with that is that could be the bottom of a rotation. So you gotta have this. If you were to buy this based on what I just said, it's got to go quick, meaning up. Like it would have to go within a couple seconds if I'm in this long trade. Because number one, it's 3 points above the low of the move, and it had 2 reds. And if this red starts working, this trade has to get, you have to puke it. It'd be like, I can't count down from 5 because this is double the speed. If I was long in here, I would be out, and it might even go up, but I'd be like, I'm out. It's just taking too long, and it's gonna pull. Well, it's gonna do that. And the reason why I said that was this red came in and worked. Now this green could be in trouble. And then I know this is 2 times the speed, so it's even taking longer to go up. So if I bought it here, I'd be puking it here and not have to take that heat. But you gotta be okay if it does go your way and you got out. Who cares? Now remember, someone's talking about market orders and stuff coming in. The speed of the red and the green is much faster in playback because we're right now at double the speed. Sometimes we're 5 times the speed. So the whole thing with market orders and limit orders, the faster the market's moving, Mike, the more market orders you're probably going to use. Rule of thumb. Like if you're trading the 5-year note or the 10-year note, which moves really slow, and you're always using market orders, you're giving up a tick because you're just trading. You're talking really fast to a bunch of people who don't even understand the language, so it's already fast to them. So you got to if the S&Ps are slow, they're in an 8-point range for the whole session, then you could work the bid, work the offer. But this market's, and we've been kind of volatile, so let's play it again. We typically get a long down bar, long up bar, long down bar, kind of long up bar. To me, it's crap. It's some chop coming. There's a move that'll eventually come, but I think it'll wiggle sideways before it goes. I don't like 3 or 4 bars that are tight like this. To me, it's just, if it goes from here like down or up, it'll go without me. Generally, you get this. It's going to go. Nope, it doesn't. Oh, it's going to go. Nope, it doesn't. There's a high probability you get what we just got. When you recognize these 4 bars, 3 or 4 bars side by side, you generally get chop coming out that side of it before it's to make a move. The most impressive thing, Brian, was of this whole session was my timing on the pause, I think. This is actually like doing a room session in playback from what we missed yesterday when we were doing that meeting. See how crappy this is after these 4 bars? And here's the reason. Let me pause it. The reason why it's choppy after these is because the market's confused. So if the market's confused, then it's got to do this because the participants are. So they're going to duke it out. And they're really showing some good consolidation, which means what when they're showing good consolidation? that this whole area is a fight that's going to get won and lost by both sides, for one side. Would I be a little bearish? Yes, if I was aggressive and I wanted to sell it, I could be short in here on this green getting cut. But you're in the middle of this chop, so you gotta be careful. Let's put a verbal journal note on it and just say bearish. On this playback recording on bearish, cut the green. We got to find a winner out of this chop. 36 down to like 32 has been the consolidation range. We're in the middle of it, so you got to be careful. First decent green that's been cut. So let's see if the bears have the, and maybe it helps if I hit record. Right in here, the consolidation has been defined. First decent green that gets cut since this one, but this one gets cut of 293 at 34 half. The range is 36 to like 32. Should be some downside, and 35 is where you'd risk too. But let's see. All right, now you play it. Where am I playing? Oh, this one. I actually want to be wrong and show you guys where I'd be wrong at. Right now, I'm not wrong. It's going down. But again, you'd be bearish when it got through this green. And so right now it's sideways to bearish. And I don't know what happened in here, but it's working, and it would have worked. You're not, this isn't, I don't know, Brian, not knowing, not being able to sell. So the question is bearish or bearish enough to sell? This is running 2 times speed. I don't know what else is going on. So you don't know until you're in it. So that's the anytime you're bearish or bearish enough to sell, sometimes it's just not scientific. You know, you could be, okay, I'm bearish, but not bearish enough to sell. And in 2 minutes, I'm bearish enough to sell now because you've seen something, right? Maybe it was a green that came in. You're just bearish enough to sell because something hit you in the face. NASDAQ went lower or whatever. Now, if you're bearish in here, but you're not bearish enough to sell, then you shouldn't be down in here, right? The move already happened. That's what's important. See, a lot of times people might be bearish in here and then they finally get short, but it's down in here. It's like, then they lose. You already should have made the call. But I don't know what would have happened in here. Could have went from bearish to bearish enough to sell in 2 seconds. So my answer could be I'm bearish, but not bearish enough to sell. Yes, I am. Now I am, right? Because something else happened. NASDAQ got hit, or the yen rallied, green came in, things like that. You could pull your gun up to your face. Mike, it's on. Oh, wait, you don't have access to that. Hold on a second. Let's play the thing back. See, here, I'll be honest with you. Let's stop it. This is the down bar, and this up bar gets me bullish to neutral. I'm not as bearish anymore. Now it comes down, I'm bearish, right? So I'm bullish in here, it's fine, but this green strip has to work. If it doesn't work, then I'm either neutral or not bullish. And it's not working. See this green strip? It rotates once, and then the second time this rotation's leaking through it. So my horns would be taking off quickly if I had them on. But this long down up bar gets you less bearish or bullish, right? Now this gets you bearish again. I'm not bearish enough to sell in here yet because it already broke still from here. I think there's some really cool sell stops coming below here, though, 32. Some really good selling about to come. If they can get below there, they're going to go. I'd like to be wrong in here, but I'm not. Like, if I was short in here, I'd be wrong above 32 half, 33. If I'm looking for all these lows to get taken out, and they should really step on them. They're stepping on them a little bit. There's a little bit more. So that should happen. So this selling should happen. It shouldn't be a good guess. There was predictability here. Let me show you. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to show you why it was predictable. Take a look at all these consolidation lows, all of them, right? There. All right, let me clear that. And then this low, this low. I mean, look at the bottom of this range. That's pretty long on a pretty wide range volatile session. This is a long fight with the bottom of it at the bottom of this yellow shade. And then you cut this green in here, and it's like, this is predictable, this move lower. Let's play it. How about if we do this? This is what I told you guys is cool. Let's pretend, let's pause this again. Let's pretend we just started a review session. You guys just start a review session. And you put a VJ note up at the start of it. And the start of a VJ session recording maybe is a different color than the purple ones. And maybe it's, let's not overthink it. That's a stupid color. And because it's too dark, let's do a pink shade of pink, Carl's favorite color. All right, so the color's pink. And this is it's a VJ playback. And you might as well put the title in because then it saves session, right? And let's say we just started this session. Let's see if how this would work. And you hit record and you just leave it recording. And you play this. You're playing both. It's both are working. And you just talk yourself through it. And then I think when you go back to play it, you'll hear your voice. If you play it at the same time you started this playback, you'll hear your voice continue on. You know what I mean? You can actually listen to your analysis. How cool is that? When this gets to 1 minute, I'm going to go back 1 minute on here and then do it. And I could just say, oh, this is choppy and blah, 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 whatever it is you're going to say. It's good for a review session. This is going 2 times the speed, so you want to do it on the same. You can't do it on a real session. So let's stop this. Let's stop it at 1 minute. We'll do a review. If you did it live and tried to get this whole analysis and you play back at double the speed, it ain't going to catch up, right? So then run this back 1 minute, and then you got to stop this. Oops, we already stopped it, right? Stop that. Pause that a second. Where did my button come? Or my, oh, did I screw that up? Oh, I know what happened. Watch this. It's going to appear. My dot. Let's see if it appears. Did I go back a minute? Oh, there it is. It appeared. I didn't go back far enough. So let's go back another minute. Back another minute. You want to go back to right where that dot is. You actually can go back, play it. All right, watch this. All right, right now. So you could play this dot and play this at the same time. Now you can go back and listen to what you were thinking. I don't know if you could hear me on the speaker, but I'm talking right now as I'm playing the VJ session back at the same time this playback session. Just you're not doing this in real time. You're doing the recording when you're playing it back, and now you got a file of your analysis in your practice. Oh, let's stop it. Let's go back to the video. Do you understand what I mean by that? Do you guys understand? If you start the video when you started the VJ recording, and let it roll, you'll have your analysis. You just can't change the speed. No, nobody understands that. Nobody said yes. Did people get what I'm talking about there? There's nothing that really happened after it broke down in here to get you bullish again. Small bullish in here, but then they whacked through it. And then once it got all those meaty lows, wham, this was kind of predictable, meaning when it cut the green in here, all those lows were kind of had some meat to them, and they ran it. Does Ninja have a playback? A couple people say it's terrible, clunky. That's the one worry about playbacks. This is pretty good. All right, so here, before we get too carried away, what we have here is, I wasn't looking at it, but I would be careful being short above there, right? That's not a surprise, that rally. Let's play it. And actually, let's go to 5 times the speed. I could do this all day, and I think that you got to get like into it. This is just, if you're not, I don't know if you'd be short, but you should be bearish before all this, be bearish on this bar. Transition B to B. Yeah, good resistance in here, whether you want to sell it or not. You know where your risk is above. It's shopping sideways to below it. You're always careful if you're short down in here. Why? Because it just broke 5 points. Should be some more sell stops that come below this bottom of this range, and they're happening. Remember, this is 5 times the speed. That's why I'd like it to always be 5 times the speed. I want to know if I'm right sooner rather than later. I'm go from bearish to either bullish or not bearish anymore when I see this cut. And remember, this is 5 times the speed, so that's would be my thought. Little bullish, certainly not as bearish when that happens, and then you see it go up. So it's not a good guess anymore. And when you do your review, do it at 2 times the speed. Do it at 1 times the speed if you got time. But you got to speed it up so you make your time more efficient. But when you see this right in here, son of a gun, if you made the call good, stop the video and put a verbal journal note on it. Bam, right here. And it's a bullish call. Look how fast this is to do it. And you'd go to purple, let's say. And you hit OK and you say, record. Hey, we broke about 6 handles, but we cut this red with a long down up bar. I'm bullish. Let's see. You stop it. You close the box. There's your thing. And then it goes up. And you go back and you listen to it. Did I call? Yeah. And so this is not a surprise. Get yourself confident. Here's another thing that they said in that event yesterday. Remember, and I paused it. Remember when we were talking about always working to look for your next edge or a new edge? I think Brett said that. If anybody been with me for any period of time, I say the same thing. I say it differently. I say there's always a better way to see the same thing. Right? Concepts are still the same. How could I see it better, quicker, faster? Another edge you're always working on is there a market driving us that I could pick up sooner than later? Different market, right? Pick up something that most of the rest of the market didn't pick up on and get a little head start in direction. But he's so right. You got to work on, but you got to work on finding the edge, the new edge under the two umbrellas of order flow and intermarket relationships, because that's what drives price and the value of everything. Is supply demand. How much do we have? How much do we need? How much do we want? Who's long? Who's short? And then influences from Powell to Trump and whatever. Let's play it. We're going 5 times the speed. So we've already rallied. The best chance to get long would have been in this area instead up here. If you get long up here, you're too late. I mean, you really are. Yeah, it might keep going, but it's more likely to do what it's doing, go sideways. Why? Because I already made the move. You know what I'm saying? So the analogy is, listen, you got to the bar at midnight. It closes at 1. A lot of the girls have met guys. It's over with. You're right. This is the. I don't want to get myself in trouble. You just gotta. The move already happened. The move already happened. So this is, just sideways to lower, kind of silly. Yeah, you could say cut this green. It's a little bearish. I don't know if I would have. Same thing in here, a little bearish, only because it's happening. This green holds, these 3 greens in here, it should be bullish. Kind of got through this red, but it was a few bars ago. Now it gets bearish to me. Back and forth. The market's making these opinions, not me. There should be sell stops below 26.75, 26.5. They should have some downside in this bar. If it jumps back up to 28, it won't. There's the downside in the bar. Why? Because it got through these rotations, and it's a busy day. Breakouts are more likely on days that are busy. So this downside call, I'm going to put another verbal journal note on it. What's right there? Bearish. Bearish in here because the market has some previous rotational lows that came in at 26.75, and I think they are going to shake out some longs in here. So let's pause this a second, and let's go back a minute, and let's go back another minute, another minute, another minute, another minute, and let's play this. And I play this. I'm going to say, what was my note? I don't know if you could hear it, but I'm saying, hey, bearish in here, previous rotational lows. We should shake out the longs. That was my recording. And then it's happening. So this is only 12 o'clock. This is just noon. Hey, are you bullish in here before it rallies? Yeah, probably when this green comes in and it's sitting right there because it came out of this hole. You look at this as a hole. Now it's a little bearish downside before it happens because it went green and couldn't go up. Do you see that? Let me go back. You got to the bar late. I got to go back even more. All right, what would get you bearish in here before you know? Let's play it. Listen, if you get to the bar late, you better hope you know someone like me that held a couple of the nice looking girls around for you. If not, you're in trouble. And listen, it goes both ways. If you're a girl and you get to the bar late, a lot of the nicer looking guys are gone. Sorry, I can't wait forever. Let me pause this again because I think I missed it. I'm worried about my wife hearing that. Well, imagine she heard some of this stuff. I'd blame you guys. All right, let's play this. Where would you get bearish? Watch this. Oh, it's green. It gets below there. I'm bearish. Pause it. I'm bearish right now. And then it goes down, down, down. Is that a good guess? Or was that skill? All right, Mike. Now I'm a little bullish. If I paused it. Why? Because it cut through these two reds. So bullish to buy it out top here? No, but bullish when probably right there instead of having to wait to that little pop. Let's see. Remember, this is running 5 times the speed. So now, if you got nothing out of today's session, it's those two moments where you could have predicted this and you could have predicted that. And the two things that I'm bringing to people is the verbal journal and the edge zones. All this sideways doesn't surprise me. It's trying to hold these two greens. It's just sideways. Probably you would have been a little bearish in here, but it's because I already see it. Now it's bullish because it got through this red pretty quick. It's bullish unless it cracks through here. And it did. I'd be neutral right now. I'd be bearish right now. This is running 5 times. I'm still bearish, still bearish. So why? Let's go back a couple beats here. Why did I say that? Let me play it. Neutral. Let's say you're neutral. It's holding on. It's holding on. Wait a second. I didn't go back far enough. This is where you don't see the green red edge zones after you play it. I mean, after the market's closed. You got to see them in real time. So I see that green in there, and I'm a little bearish, right? Because it can't hold it. And I'm bearish until they get above where I seen it. So let's go back again for you older guys. I don't know. Let's go back again just in case and play it. All right. I went back too far, but that's all right. It's running 5 times the speed. So we're bullish. Yeah. After it pops, it's going to hold this. Okay. That's fine. Now I'm neutral because it's sank through in here. What's going to happen? I don't know. Oh, I missed it again. Maybe I'm getting old. Coming down in here, holds 26.5. That makes sense. Makes sense. Gets green, and I think if they're going to take back the slack, 26.5, buyers came in, can't get it to go up. And if it does get a 27, then my bearish bias would be wrong. Now, something interesting happens here. It gets red and then jumps through it just 2 ticks. So that might get me out of something, and it might get me worried, and I don't want it to go back up to 27, but that's still above where that is, and it goes lower. Maybe you got shook out, took a smaller profit than you want. There's nothing wrong with that. There's the red that comes back up and holds as resistance. There's maybe some stuck shorts because it went red and they couldn't go lower, and it goes up. Whoop-de-doo. Who would have thought? Now it's bearish to neutral. You got to be bearish right now. And this is why. Let me stop it. So once it comes, the red comes in and it jumps, we're going to get a pop. Boom, we get a pop. Then this long down bar makes you think Better not be bullish, better be careful because they want to come after these lows and then this low over here, right? So then I'd be careful being long. If I was, I wouldn't be long. I wouldn't be long. I'm looking for new lows. The lows I think are down here too. Still looking for new lows. Now I don't want to see it go to 25, 25 half. Still, there's the push lower. I don't like that that went red and came back up. So it probably would have got me out, and I have to reset to get bearish again. Let's see, this green seems to be working slightly below the green is bearish again. And it's a little bearish again. Now I'm going to be pissed if it doesn't go lower. I'm trying to really press this thing, and it goes. Because it got through this green, and I'm looking for them to take out all those rotations. They should really just tumble. I don't know what the low was at this point. If they didn't take it out, there's more downside. But they should just keep tumbling based on all that. And they do. This is another 2 points, right? So this is 25 even. We're down almost 9, 10 points. And again, guys, I didn't know that this happened. In fact, I thought the low of the day was above here. But when I seen this, it's like all these rotations got through a green. It should just do this and put a verbal journal note on it. Nothing in here really makes me think they cut this red, right? So you could think, okay, be careful. As soon as it gets back through it, a new red comes in, you got to respect that guy. They don't cut any reds until when? Now you're bullish. Let me pause. I want to do this. This is interesting. I want to walk people through this. Because this is context. It's like, do you see where this market like gets red in here? Look down here and then watch it. It's trading. It's cutting through this red. I'm not bullish to buy it. If I was short, I'd probably be out here. And it keeps going lower, that we know. But it gets through this red. So I'm going to get out. It takes a while to go back lower. If you're using context and like we're really weak and everything's pressing lower, it could keep you from puking a good trade. Like this is a good trade if you're short. The NASDAQ is just getting hit. Why get out? You just write it down. But there's a chance where it doesn't go down or takes a while. And we're moving 5 times fast and it's still taking a little bit. But if you thought that and then this new red comes in, you got to reset your thought and say, oh, no, they're back in business. And they get through this green and you got to think, oh, all right. Downside's the right side. This green comes in slightly below him. They're going to puke it. Slightly below him, they puke it. The market does. They go lower. They go lower. They go lower. They go lower. Wait for the first decent red that gets cut. You get a long down up bar, but it ran up a little bit. Yep, right there. Pause it. It's 5 times as fast. Before it gets to 15 half or whatever this price is, 15 quarter, you got to be, there could be a temporary bottom. So this little bit of an upside isn't a surprise. It goes from 12 half to 17 half and counting, 18 half now. So the point is, and I paused it, this rally you could predict in there instead of having to wait for it to go up there. And why? Because of this. And guess what? I don't care how many people will get edge zones. They won't know how to use it. That's why it's an edge. Shoot. That's why it's an edge. Because they won't know how to react to it. They don't know the right questions to ask. They won't work on it. You know, oil market's open. All the other markets are closed. So they go red and they stay underneath it. Here's a green. Below this green, they could take out these lows right here, and they do. Now you get a little bit more bullish when it comes back up. So they took out these lows, shook out weak longs, and come back up. So there's buy stops above 17. If it gets above this red, they'll take 17s out as well. They're getting above this red. They should come after and take 17 halves out. And you know what? If I was long based on that, I'd be out for a small loser or scratch. And I no longer know if it's going to take 17 halves out. Why? Because it had to go here to there to there. So I was wrong that it was going to take 17 halves out, but I'm still not thinking it. Does that make sense? I still wouldn't be thinking it. I stopped thinking of it right there. That's what's good about being wrong. Not wrong for long. You just think about when you make a wrong turn, but you get back, turn around in a block or two instead of 20 miles or two. Now, I don't know unless something else came out, headlines, that this is going to get beat on right here, but it's like, wow. Sweep, red, look out below. Could be a little bit of a bottom here forming because it's cutting through a red, going green, cut through a red again. So this upside's not a surprise. Look at that. Was that a good kind of analysis? So let me stop this session, not only today, because we covered a lot, but I'm going to end it with something that's really important. And that is when, let me stop this. And I'm going to put a verbal journal note because this is I think a pretty, we'll just put this on here and we're going to make it the light bulb moments. The way I have light bulb moments in explaining things, like you guys might have light bulb moments in understanding things. Yeah, Kim, they do. So what I'm going to say is what we've come to with looking at playback on Sierra, whatever platform you use, is being able to take a look at a market moving faster than it does in real time. If you use the playback feature 2 times, 5 times faster, and use it as an exercise, and you're consistent with a routine to work on your trading, and this is an efficient way of doing it. There's a lot of wasted time people do researching and practicing their trading. That's just that, a waste of time. This isn't. You find your niche and how to review a session. So you make it efficient because you're going by it fast. You're using the verbal journal maybe, or you're just getting confident at predicting one or two things to tell you it's going to go up or down, not a million things. But here's the key. Here's the light bulb moment. You're doing it at 5 times the speed. So you're going to be more confident because you're either going to be right or wrong what seems to be faster. And when you're right faster, you don't have time to second guess yourself. I'll say that again. When you're right faster, you don't have time to second guess yourself. You don't have those negative monkeys on your shoulder saying, you sure? You sure? You know? And that's the difference between when you could speed it up, where you don't have that window to second guess is the best way to phrase it and describe it. Talk yourself out of it. If I just would have stayed with what I seen, I'd have been fine. How many times you have that moment? You outthink yourself. And when you outthink yourself, you screw it up. Screw it up. Now you have to have the right tools to say I'm bullish or bearish. but then use them and judge probabilities with them and get good at saying, hey, I'm right most of the time. Now let me execute. Or I'm already executing good. Let me firm up my bias. And it does. And guess what? It doesn't have to be this stuff. It really doesn't. Don't make me like the guy with the only good tools that work. It could be somebody else's template, right? Or tool technique. But then go back and say, how does this tool help me predict a bias? And the light bulb moment, the reason why I'm recording this is because when you try to make predictions and it's moving 5 times as fast, you don't have time to overthink. Because if you have time to think, you're dead. Where's the gas? Where's the brake pedal? Crash. So you got to react diligently because it's a tough game, and we're always going to doubt and second guess yourself, especially if you got money on the line. Let the market do what it's going to do. So it'll seem easier to make predictions when you're doing it on replay, and that's why. What color do you want to make this? I'll keep it purple. Yellow for light bulb. Good. Let's see. There it is, light bulb moment. You know what we could do is also do this. Check, check, check. Stop it. Oh, it's set up right next to it. Well, I screwed that up. I put them too close to each other. I was going to do red, yellow, green. Yes, overthinking. You know, I've always like known that, and it comes to a session like this where I could have a light bulb moment to help people have a light bulb moment, because it seems like it's more fluid in my analysis. And the reason why is because I'm not second guessing my thoughts. I'm just seeing what I see and predicting what I predict. I'm wrong when I'm wrong. I'm right when I'm right, because it's moving faster. It's not giving you time to screw it up, because our mind will screw up and change what we otherwise are seeing. You know, objectivity goes to subjectivity like that when you put money on the line, right? And the longer you're not getting paid, or you don't think you're getting paid, the more you're going to second guess the idea. Now, sometimes it's good to get out of an idea that's taking too long to work. But if you have, hey, I'm bullish above here, and it didn't go below there, well, then you're bullish, right? Don't overthink. You do your thinking as part of your understanding when you're learning, but then when you open up, the bell rings. You know, boxers are there to fight, and they're not thinking. They go to the corner in between rounds. They might give them something to think about, to just react to once the bell rings again. Yeah, delete the red. That's a good idea.
Further comments from the Brazilian president-elect Bolsonaro.
I wonder if that is something, if it's in the same axis, it won't work. Let's try that. That might be. You can't put dots on top of each other. Let's just go B to B. Check, 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 check. Let's go to red. No, that worked. That was just too close. I've already had, with this verbal journal, could you make the delete and play buttons further apart or have some? And I'm like, maybe, but get good at not deleting it. Oh, it's easier. Yeah, you know, I haven't, not once have I made the mistake of deleting it when I didn't want to delete it. Oh, shoot. No, I'm just joking. What I want to do with this verbal journal is get it where when you go to make a recording, so let's go, I go to make a recording, your preloaded title, if it's like bearish, it automatically sets the color to red, draws a line or not. So your title already create those as fixtures as well. Are you on Sierra, Jacek? What's important about this verbal journal is the fact, I'm just talking to someone about it, the simplicity of actually using it, of actually journaling. So if you want to get physically fit, do you want to join a gym that's 3 hours away? Oh, it's a great gym though. No, you're not going to go. Do you want to join a gym that's 45 minutes away? Well, that's still too far. Do you want to join a gym that's down the street? Yeah, but then I find myself, if you're the type that doesn't go, well, then find something that makes you do it in the house. And even that's not easy, but better chance of working out if you make it easier for yourself. And easier for yourself is different things for different people. But here's one that's helped me in the past. Get on a treadmill and don't watch TV. Well, you have to like to play video games, but play video games. You'd be on the treadmill for 2 hours and not realize it. But you got to like video games. Put a screen up. It's so easy. You know, monitors and TVs. I bought a 32-inch TV for like $99. You could turn into a monitor. And then you could overpay for monitors too, but they're so cheap nowadays. Buy a 32-inch TV, hang it up. For $125, you could buy a 32-inch TV that you could turn into which HDMI, and a $25 hanger for a wall. Hang the thing right above a treadmill where you work out, and run the cord as an extra monitor to your PC, and work out and walk on a treadmill as you're going through a replay for this. Have a wireless mouse. All of it just takes very little time to create. Everybody should have more than a couple monitors on their workstation too, by the way. All right, Peter, you too. While what? Yes, that's Lee, Jacek. Just go to, let me give you that link. Hold on a second. Yeah. So going back to the whole physical fitness thing, if you want to do something, make it easier for yourself. Just do something a little bit, build a little momentum. If you got this verbal journal, just take 1 note a day, 2 notes, 3 notes. Just focus on one thing. It's not going to hurt you. It can only help you. It can only help you. And the other thing I'll leave you with is when we talk about this review and we talk about this collaboration is you don't have to do this stuff. You get to do it. Think about all the people that don't have the resources that we have to fund an account, to trade, the opportunity and the time to get to do this stuff. Everybody here gets to do it. Think about that with working out. When you're struggling to work out, don't look at it as you have to do it. You'll get to do it. Think of all the poor, people who don't have 2 legs, that don't have their limbs and they're handicapped, and it's harder. And they'll probably even work out more than people that have 2 arms and 2. You get to do it. You don't have to do it. You get to do it. Remember that. You get to trade. You don't have to trade. A lot of people would love to do this. They don't have the time or the resources or the money. And everybody in here, pretty much in this group, does. So spend a little time reviewing. Get a workout buddy or trading buddy and just 2 or 3 people. Go into a conference room and say, what you're doing, how you're doing, why you're doing it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Markets will reopen, I believe, probably at 5 tonight, but who knows? They close at 8:30 Central at 27.18. Be an interesting. And by the way, what was yesterday's low? I can't remember. Let's blow this up. Watch this. Actually, let's not put it on here. Watch this. I want to show you guys something. Why didn't it come through? Wait. Oh, I know why it didn't come through, because it doesn't come through the session. Is this price yesterday's low coincidental? And I know this because I made a marker on it, and you should have done it. Is it coincidental? What was it? The 96, 97 even area. So if I just close this out, Brian, that's it, right? Yeah. Oh, it's not it. You got to hit stop. Oh, shoot. You got to hit stop. So chart, replay, stop. Now close it. Yeah, now we're back in real time. Nobody knows. 96, 97. What happened at that price? You get a 3-pack of CK underwear if you get the answer right. Even those watching this at some point in the future on recording. Tell me if you get the answer right. Now you'll have to be honest, because I'm going to give it to you. That's exactly where we were when Powell's comments came out last week, just below those 2 words, just below neutral. We trade 96.50, right in that area. I'm going to stop the recording. I think I was recording, yeah.